Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on this prismatic right angle weave necklace, and I'm loving this necklace. A while back remember we did these bracelets and we did a necklace like this with the pretty stone at the end that I bezeled. Well, when we did this video, I made a little bead out of, the bead looked just like this. So this was the bead, and I said, well, one day we'll revisit that bead. So we're revisiting the bead. So the bead has turned into a necklace. So I'm going to put these aside. These are the Pra drop earrings. I'll link the bracelets and the earrings, all the Pra video playlist up there and there, so you can take a look at those videos if you like. But here's the necklace. It's a station necklace, has 9 stations. It's about 17 and a half, 18 inches long. I use a little glue and clasp at the end, silver clasp, and a pretty big lobster. I just love these. They're so I love the ending. Of course, they're easy to use because they glue in, but they also, I think they look really pretty with a tubular piece. It's a perfect finish for me for a tubular piece. So here it is. Love it. I'm really thrilled with the using the gemstones. These are Sodalite that I used in this, and I used some little pearls. I used what I had, and this is what I had. So 4mm Sodalite, 3mm pearls, 11/0 seed beads. These are those light smoky pewter seed beads, and I'm thrilled with it. I think it looks really pretty. All right, so I'm going to clear the decks and we're going to get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It's right down there somewhere. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So you're going to need some 4mm beads, and I'm using a stone here. This is an agate. I actually bought this at Joann's. They were having a sale. I think you buy one, buy 2, get 1 free, buy 1, get 2 free. I don't know, something like that. Check it out and see if your Joann's has this sale. At any rate, you could probably get a 40% off coupon. So I have, this is an agate, and this is the same bead as the Sodalite on here. Excuse me. A 3mm bead. I'm using a black pearl. You can use anything you like, of course, but I'm using a pearl, so this is this bead right here. 11/0 seed beads for here. And then here I have some 2mm Druk beads. And that bead I've used in between the pearls and, on this whole section here. So here are the 11/0s, and then I go up to this 2mm, and then I go back to the 11/0s. You don't have to do that. In fact, I think I made a mistake on this one. When I make a sample, sometimes I use different I use beads that don't match. I use beads that I've used over and over again, just because this was all just a try, and it turned out nicely. So I think on this one, these were all separate beads at one time, or a few of them. So this one, I have 11/0s in between, so you can see the difference. So here I have the 2mm, and these are just 11/0s. You can't really tell the difference. I see it a little bit. It's very subtle, but my necklace definitely has that flaw in it. But I'm going to wear it anyway. Okay, so we have those 11/0s, the 2mm little Druk beads, or all 11/0s. You'll need some kind of clasp. I'm using this glue-in end cap. This is antique silver. I'll of course put in the description box where I purchased everything, sizes, colors, amounts, everything. I have this little lobster. I'll put where I purchased. I'll show you where I purchased that as well. These are great lobster claws. They're nice and big and chunky and strong. A little jump ring here to attach the lobster to one of these ends because these are both closed. I have a stop bead. I have some glue for gluing in the ends. So the standard pretty much is E6000. So when I was at Joann's, I found this E6000 Plus. So this is no odor, and it's crystal clear. So this is awesome because E6000, the regular really, the smell is way too strong for me. So this, I've already used it. It does not smell. It's great. You can also use this Loctite Super Glue, the Ultra Gel Control. This is a gel formula, not a liquid. I think this one is done with this. But you can certainly use, the E6000 is pretty much what most people use. I have a size 10 beading needle, 8-pound Fireline black satin. I don't know if I said stop bead right there. Okay, so gather up your materials and we'll get started. Let's get started. So I switched out my 11/0s for 3mm fire polish beads because I just thought it would be easy for you to see, and also for those of you who are still struggling a little bit with Pra, I just thought I'd, do it this way so you can follow along easily. So I've Thread your needle with about 5 feet of thread, put on a stop bead, and leave enough of a tail to sew in. If you're using 11/0s or the 3mm, it doesn't really matter. So if you're practicing or doing the actual piece, we're starting from this end and we're going in this direction. So we're going to do this piece first. So I'm just going to get you started with the 3mm. So I've picked up 6 beads, whether you're doing 3mm or the 11/0s, it doesn't matter. Pick up 6. We're going to sew them into a circle. Let's see if I can pull in a little teeny bit more. So I'm just going through all the beads again. Doesn't matter, you know, as long as it kind of works its way into a circle, like that. So here are my 6 beads. I'm going to pick up 3 beads. I'm exiting here, just going to sew around the other side of the bead I'm exiting from. I'm going to then advance my needle through the next bead on the circle. I'm going to pick up 2 beads. Exiting here, I'm going to sew through this previous bead, right here, and the bead I'm exiting from. I'm going to advance my needle through the next bead on my circle. Pick up 2. Exiting here, I'm going to sew through this previous bead and the bead I'm exiting. I'm going to advance my needle for the next bead on the circle. Again, 2 beads, exiting here, sew through this previous bead, right here, and the bead I'm exiting from. Advance your needle. It's starting to pull up a little bit. See how those are becoming the sides. Do it again. 2 beads, exiting here, sew through this one and the previous bead, this bead, excuse me, and the bead you're exiting from. There we go. We're building little walls up. See? Now you're going to sew through, advance your needle through the next bead. Okay, so at this point we have 5 beads on the top, and we're going to pull it up to make it into a circle. However, we have to add 1 more bead. So let me hold it. Kind of hard to see, but here I'm exiting here. Let me pull in super tight just for the connection here. So we're going to be using one bead. We need a bead here, 2, 3, and 4. So you're going to need a 4th bead. So 1, 2, 3 beads. So I'm just going to sew through this bead. Pick up a bead, keeping my thumb in it so you can see it. Sew through this one. Now your unit is done, but we want to get up to this top bead again so we can sew it together. So sew through this one. Sew through this one. At the top. Now your unit is done, but you have these wonky beads at the top. So you just want to sew all these beads together. So I'm just going to go through every bead. I'm holding it really lightly so it doesn't, get all misshapen. That way you can see how it's turning into a nice little circle. One more time. And sometimes I do 1 for good measure, just to tighten it up. I'm using big beads here, so there are big holes. When you're with your 11/0s, it's going to be, a little bit tighter. So here I'm going to pull tight, and this is what we have. So there's that's our prismatic right angle weave unit. So I'm going to let you get to this point, and then when we come back, I'll add 1 more unit on, and then I'll send you off by yourselves. Okay, see you. So we're exiting this bead right here. You're just making sure your thread is coming out this way and you're exiting a side bead. So here's one of the faces of the unit. Pick up 3 beads, exiting here. So through this one. Rotate your piece and advance through the next bead. Pick up 2 beads, so through this one and the side bead. It's good to do, I think it's good to do them both at the same time because it stays nice and tight. Rotate and advance your needle through the next bead. Pick up 2, so through this guy and this bead. Like that. Rotate, advance. You got it. That's what we're going to do all the way around. Pick up 2. Notice it's what we did when we did the first unit, only that was flat. It started out flat. So through this one and this one. Rotate, advance. Pick up 2. So through this one and this one. Rotate, advance. You have your 3 beads here. We just need to add 1 bead right here. So through the top bead. Going to pick up a bead. So through this one and this bead. Back through the top bead. Now I'm just going to sew all these guys together. So around. Here we go. There you go. Now you have another unit on. So you're just going to continue this until you have 8 units on. So here we're starting from here. Okay. So the way you're going to count your units. So when I hold it this way, you see the right angle we face is on each side of the cube. So of the piece. I don't know what to call it. It's not a cube. So here are my 2 units, 2 faces of the unit. So this is how you're going to count. 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure you have 8. You count 8 of these at the top. Okay, so that way you'll have 8 units on. All right, so get that done. Meet me back here. I'll come back with the 11-ohs and we'll start the station part. All right, see you in a minute. Back. So I have my 8 units on. And now I'm just going to start my first round with pearls. Excuse all the cat hair. So I'm going to pick up an 11-oh, the 3mm pearl, and an 11-oh. Exiting here, doing the same exact stitch. Just sew through the other side of the bead you're exiting from. Advance your needle through the next bead. Pick up an 11-oh. And a pearl. I'm going to sew through this bead and this bead. Advance your needle through the next bead on that circle. Pick up an 11-oh and a pearl. Working with these 2. So sew through this one and this one. Advance your needle. Pick up an 11-oh and a pearl. Sew through this one and this one to the bottom seed bead and the side seed bead. Advance your needle. 11-oh. Pearl. I'm running out of thread. Sew through this one and this one. Again, the bottom seed bead and that little side seed bead. That all. Advance through the next bead, and then sew through the top bead, only to add one bead on, just that pearl. Don't run out of thread like I am. Pick up your pearl, sew through this one, bottom seed bead, side seed bead, through the top seed bead. And now you're just going to sew all the beads together. See how wonky they look? Like that. I'll put my adding thread video, a link to that video, in the description box below this video. So if you need an easy way to add thread, you'll have it. Sewing all the way around, like that. We have our first round on. Alright, so get that done, and come on back and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So I've got the first round of pearls on. Now I'm just going to push my 11-ohs out of the way because I think that it's very easy to make this mistake, like I did on my original necklace, and put an 11-oh if you're switching to the 2mm. So now I'm switching to the 2mm and an 11-oh. So here, we did this. We're going to do this one now. So 2mm pearl and a 2mm, doing the exact same thing. When you don't even need me, I'm just going to get you started. Advance, $2mm, 11-oh through this one and the pearl. Advance, 2mm and the pearl. So through this one and the pearl. Advance. You got it. So finish that up. Sew your pearls on at the end, and then I'll do the round of the 4mm with you. Okay, we're back. So let's get the 4mm on. So we're still working with the 2mm beads as our accent. So 2mm, 4mm, 2mm, exiting a pearl right here, around, rotate, advance your needle, 2mm, 4mm, so through this guy and the pearl. Advance. $2mm. The agate, 4mm. So through this one and the pearl. Advance. $2mm. And the 4, so through this guy and the pearl. Rotate. Where are you? Okay, advance. 2mm agate bead. So through this guy and the pearl. You got it. And we'll do the last one together. Advance. So through the top bead. Pick up a 4. So through this one and the pearl. Through this top bead. Sew them together. And you could even go around twice if you're using, of course, when using the 4mm, because you have a lot of space in there, so you want to tighten them up really well. All right, so this is what you're going to do. So to continue, the next round is going to be the 2mm in the pearl round. So you're going to do that twice with the 2mm in the pearls to get the other two on this end, and then meet me back here, and we'll transition to the next necklace part, the next 11-0 area. All right, have fun. See you in a minute. Okay, let's transition to the 11-0s. So I'm pushing my 2mm beads aside so I don't use those by mistake. All right, so we're just going to transition back. So pick up 3 11-0s, exiting a pearl. Just doing the same exact thing. I'll just get you through the first round. So advancing. I'm going to do this pretty quick. 2 11-0s through this guy, this bead, and the pearl. Advance. 2 11-0s through the 11-0 and the pearl. Advance. 2 11-0s, 3 11-0, and the pearl. Advance. 2 11-0s through this one and the pearl. Advance through that last pearl, through the top bead. Pick up an 11-0 through this guy and that pearl. Now through the top bead. Okay. Now I'm going to hold it this way. You're going to sew those beads together. So just look at the wonky ones. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are not sewn together. Here I go. There you go. All right, so now you've transitioned back to the 11-0s. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat everything we did. You're going to do 8 units, and then you're going to put on the last unit with your pearls. And remember, you're still using an 11-0 when you've put the first round of pearls on. Then you're going to transition to the pearls and the 2mm, and then the 4mm and the 2mm, and then 2 more rounds with the pearls and the 2mm, and then you're going to transition back to your 11-0s. So again, the way you're going to count when you go forward is, let me see if I can isolate these. So you see, so here are units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here are the 8. So number 9 is going to be this one. See the unit, it's 3 11-0s and the pearl. So you have to count this unit as this last unit. So you're going to put on 8, and this is going to be counted as one of the units. So just make sure when you do that that you have 8 on. I mean, you can even reduce the amount of units or make them more units if you want. Just make sure they're the same amount of units each time. So when you're doing this, just to be certain I'm being clear, when you're doing this part just with the 11-0s, make sure you have 8, you count 8 units on, and then the 9th unit is going to be the 11-0s, that first pearl unit with the 11-0 and the pearls. Okay, I hope that was clear enough. If it's not clear enough, just go back and repeat everything, from the beginning, and that'll get you there. Okay, but you can always count the top 11-0s to make sure that you have 9 altogether. All right, so have fun. Go to your happy place. It really went pretty quickly, I have to say. So let me just give you a little heads up on sizing. So my necklace is close to 18 inches. I have 9 stations. So when you do 9 stations, this is how it's going to be around your neck. You're going to have sort of a center station around your neck. I mean, you know, you really can't tell that much. But if you are doing an even number of stations, then when it closes around your neck, let me just do this. So let's say we're going to pretend it closes there. You're going to have, let me see if I can get around. It's going to be more just random where one of these falls. So it doesn't really matter. I think it's really pretty both ways. Okay. All right, so there you go. Have fun. Then come on back and we'll glue on the clasps together. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. So here we have my little mini necklace, and now I'm going to put the clasp on. I'm not going to actually glue it in, but I'm going to, you know, I'll just go through the motions with you. All right, so one end, you're just going to take your bead cap. You want to fill it about a third of the way with glue, and then make sure, use a little toothpick or whatever, something small that you can kind of bring it up around the interior walls of the clasp, and then you're just going to put it on a piece of paper or a piece of plastic so that you don't get, you know, glue on your bead mat. Do this. So for this one, I've already put the lobster on, just easy. So here I just have my lobster. Here's the ring. I put on a jump ring, and there's a pretty hefty gauge. I think it's probably a 16 gauge, but I'm gonna check for sure and put it in the description box below the video. Here's my clasp. I'm going to put the glue in as well. So the glue's on, and then I'm just going to put it on. Just going to make sure that my clasp is sitting the same way on either end. So, you know, just make sure that, you know, everybody's in line properly so that the clasp falls nicely on the back of your neck. So there we go. There's our little mini necklace. Here's our finished necklace. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was so much fun to make and so easy and so really pretty for, you know, for any time of year. I love it for the summer, spring and summer, because it's just simple and it looks pretty with just like a simple little tank dress or a, you know, something, or a pair of jeans. I love this with jeans because of the Sodalite, the blue of the Sodalite. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can click my face, I think it's up there somewhere, to subscribe. I'd appreciate that. All right, so take care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.